Good evening, everybody, and welcome to RAMP, Real Access Motivates Progress, live Wednesday night podcast. We are so excited to be with you tonight because RAMP is celebrating their 3-year anniversary. 3 years ago this week, we have came to fruition and we have done so much and helped so many people along the way. And I cannot wait to share with you all of the great things that we have done and what we plan to do in the future. So I want to welcome to the show some of my board members, just a tiny sampling of my board members with us tonight. Welcome to the show, gang.
Hey, thanks, Tina.
Hi.
Thanks, Tina.
I would like each and every one of you, I will call you out, to go around and introduce yourself, what your position is at RAMP and what you do. We'll start with you, Christina.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Christina Batista, and I'm a board member, and I do whatever Tina tells me to do. So whatever position I hold is what I hold. Thank you for having me tonight, Tina.
I love that. Justin, how about you?
Hi, Tina. Well, thanks for having us. My name is Justin Oakley with Oakley Home Access. We are proud to be a part of RAMP. We provide the actual equipment, the ramps, and any other equipment that is required to create accessibility throughout the community. So we are always honored to be a part of RAMP, and especially honored to be a part of this broadcast this evening.
Oh, thank you. And before we continue, I just want to give a shout out to our Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos, who is watching tonight, because she just said congratulations on our anniversary. So thank you, Lieutenant Governor, for all of your support. We could not do half of what we do without the support of your office. So thank you very much. Next, we have Diana Perkins. Diana, introduce yourself to everybody.
Hello, I'm Diana. I'm also a board member, and I'm the founder of Include Design, a product design firm that creates products with and for people with disabilities, including, of course, the lovely Tina.
Yay! She does awesome work, so you'll have to check out Include Design as well. Michael, how about introducing yourself?
Yeah, hi, everybody. My name is Michael Matrasher. I'm a board member for RAMP, and I am a Providence policeman in the city of Providence, and I work as the ADA coordinator.
So welcome. So this is just a sampling of the many people behind the scenes that keep RAMP running. Without them, we couldn't do half of what we do. So we are so excited to talk about past and present. Like I said, 3 years ago today, we just started an Asia Grill restaurant, I believe it was, Christina, where we gathered together and trying to decide. We knew we wanted RAMP, but we didn't know what it was going to stand for. And it just flourished from there. So we're so excited. Christina, do you want to give us a little update of what we've done in the past and a little inkling of what's coming to fruition in the future?
Absolutely. So from the inception of this, I am very happy to say that I have been a very active board member since the very beginning. And Tina is absolutely right. This all started at Asia Grill. With literally a napkin in front of us, trying to figure out what RAMP's acronym would stand for. And here we are 3 years later, and so much has happened. Beautiful events that have taken place. Accessibility is Beautiful, where we showcase so many different vendors with different abilities. Literally, I feel like RAMP has become a household name, and we are just getting the momentum, and this is just the beginning.
Yeah, I am so excited about everything that we do. Diana, do you want to give us a little bit of your portion of what RAMP has done and what we plan to do?
Yes, so there's lots of ways people can get involved with RAMP. We're always looking for more volunteers, especially for this year's upcoming Accessibility is Beautiful event. If you'd like to volunteer for that or any other of RAMP's events, you can learn more on our website, rampisinclusion.com. And we're also pleased to announce that we've just recently become a certifying organization for the Presidential Service Award. So if you do volunteer with RAMP and you have any other volunteer hours from other organizations, we can now give volunteers the Presidential Service Award for their outstanding contributions.
And that is such a great thing for us to be able to give out, to have people of all abilities. And it doesn't mean that you just have to volunteer for RAMP. It's for any organization. As long as you get that organization's leader to sign off on your hours, you compile them up, you submit it to us in an email, and you would receive your reward if you qualified at the Accessibility is Beautiful event on September 10th. So we are so proud to be able to give that award out. It comes in 3 levels: bronze, silver, and gold. So we're hoping to give out a ton of those awards this year at our event. So again, you can check out our website and get all of the information there, and then just contact us for all information and to submit it. Michael, could you tell us why this organization is so important to our community?
Yes, I can. 2014, I'm gonna go backwards a little bit because 2014, I was given the award of Accessible Man of the Year by ARI. That's the Accessible RI, which is under the umbrella of the MS Dream Center. So I was given that award. So the reason why I was given that award was because I was advocating for accessibility for all. And as the years went by, from 2014, and when you offered the Get On Ramp and all the hard work that you have done with Ramp and promoting Ramp and accessibility and all that good stuff, it just kind of filtered in with the ARI project that I've been so dear with the Perna family and what their project has been. So, and I've seen major progress in the accessibility world. So that's one of the reasons why I joined the board, Tina, because I know that people communicating in this type of field is how you make things happen, by sharing the vision of us.
It's so true. And as you can tell, as all of us are talking as we go around, we're all talking about other organizations. No one organization is going to make the change in this world or in this state without each other. We all have our own little part. As we say, we are Rhode Islanders. We all know a guy. So we all know somebody who can make a difference. We all know somebody to connect with. And by working together is how we're making the biggest impact. So one of Ramp's biggest things is we like to connect with businesses, with other organizations, with people, and just open the eyes of others. Because Michael, as you and I are both in wheelchairs, how often is it that you go to a place that's inaccessible, that you can't access, that it's so frustrating that you get invited out, but people say, 32 years of the ADA, everything's accessible. Is that the case?
No, that's surely not the case, Tina. But this day and age, we're in 2022, right? So I think back of the ADA law that came into power in 1990? I think it was 32 years ago. So 32 years ago, the ADA came in effect, and the way things have progressed and gotten better with the change of times, with cell phones and people doing research before you visit a place, you can get in or not. I like to do this research before I go, so I'm not faced with that negative situation from the very beginning. Yes, you're right. There are a lot of places that are not accessible, but let's face the facts that I think a lot of these places, it's hard for them to change, and it's hard to make that change because of the communication gap that's missing between housing codes, city, other state agencies. Nobody's communicating what we're trying to do. That's the problem.
Right. And that's exactly why we do what we do. And, many of the businesses, it's less expensive than they think to become ADA compliant, or at least to open their doors to others. And that's where Justin comes in, because our partnership with Justin, Justin, why don't you tell all of the businesses how easy a suitcase ramp for work for a lot of the businesses?
Well, that's just it, Tina, and Michael made a good point. It's the education, that there are resources out there, and oftentimes it's not giant elevators and monster ramp systems that will do the trick. Oftentimes we see in places like, urban areas like Newport, and even a lot of organizations and places in Providence, that a simple, foldable, portable, removable suitcase ramp could really do the trick to create accessibility for all. It's that 1, 2, sometimes even 3-step entrance that's a barrier, and it's a significant barrier for folks using wheelchairs or even walkers or canes. And to have something on hand that can be only several $100s and set up as needed can be a game changer. I mean, I love, Tina, how you always bring it back when you're educating a business owner about the bottom line. We're not, none of us here are looking at it about the money and the revenue, but when we're educating business owners, it's like you're increasing your clientele by creating accessibility. You're doing the right thing and making the place, the world more inclusive, but you're also able to increase your bottom line and help the wheel go around, as we say in business a lot. So it can be a game changer, and it can be a small piece of aluminum that makes all the difference. There's a wide variety of modular systems that will work as well, but they have anywhere from 2 to 10-foot portable suitcase ramps that oftentimes that's going to do the trick and really create an inaccessible facility completely accessible. And once you're inside, you know, the sky's the limit as far as creating a nice accessible space. So it's that education that there are resources out there, and there is equipment out there that can make your business accessible.
Yeah, like one of my favorite examples is Thames Street in Newport. Thames Street in Newport we are the beautiful ocean state. Everybody loves to go down to Newport, Jamestown, and everything to be by the water. But all of Thames Street has that inevitable one step.
Yep.
That one step prevents walkers, wheelchairs, knee scooters, baby carriages, canes, or people like Christina, who she walks, but she still can't do stairs because of her disability, out of your business. So for a couple of $100 for a one-step suitcase ramp, you are letting in, now listen to this number, every business that's listening, you are letting in 45% of Rhode Island's population, because 45% of Rhode Island's population uses a mobility device either temporarily or permanently. So what business cannot afford to alienate 45% of the population? Now your Newport, Jamestown, or any business out there by the water, you're letting in all of the tourists and their family members and their elders. Wouldn't you want your elder grandmother who happens to use a walker or a cane to maneuver up a ramp that's solid instead of trying to maneuver that walker up a step or two and possibly trip or fall? Because if they sue you, it's thousands of dollars, where $200 could give you a suitcase ramp that could fit that one step. How does that not make sense to everybody? Christina, do you want to elaborate on that a little bit from your point of view?
I'd like to say, actually, everything that we're talking about it's very true, but a lot of the time, sometimes the business owners just don't know what the resources are out there to make their business accessible for all. And I think it's really great to point out that Ramp can and will go to different businesses, and we literally can go and do a walkthrough or a roll through and really just point out things that might make it a little bit easier for customers to go in, spend their money, have a good time with their family and friends. Because like you said, Tina, we are just like everybody else. We want to be included. So if we can help the community enhance their business, then please call us, and we'd be happy to come in, and at no cost to the business owners, just for us to come in and take a tour of their place of business.
And that's something I want to highlight. We do free, say that again, free roll through assessments to your business to help you allow 45% of the population into your business. We have also worked with the Secretary of State's office to roll out all of the tax breaks that are already on the books, up to $15,000 a year in tax breaks for a business starting or going ADA compliant, that will help you through all of that. And it's for free. All we ask is, if you like what we do, give us a donation so we can keep going. But we are all about breaking barriers. And the first barrier we break is nobody should say that they can't afford to learn about accessibility, because the truth of the matter is, nobody in this day and age can afford not to be accessible, because by 2030, over 50% of the population will not be able to use your establishment because you won't be accessible. Diana, can you tell a little bit more about what Ramp does?
Ramp does all sorts of stuff. I mean, if there is an accessibility problem or knowledge gap that you have, Ramp is the place to call. Tina gives amazing talks, whether to schools, organizations, you want your office employees or your board members to know more about accessibility. She, of course, is the walkthroughs, the roll-throughs, and we do all sorts of really fun events. Accessibility is Beautiful is our main event, but it's definitely not our only event. Just this week, I think Tina was in 3 or 4 different locations around Rhode Island, just teaching people and helping them learn more about accessibility. And it's a really important thing for businesses to do. Overall in America, 26% of the population has some form or another of disability. Not all of those are mobility related, and not everyone who uses a mobility aid has a permanent disability. But the market share that businesses can tap into if they make their businesses accessible is huge. The American Institutes for Research state the total disposable income of working age people with disabilities in America is around $490 billion. So it's definitely a worthwhile investment to get a $200 suitcase ramp.
Yeah, I mean, it's so true. I mean, the market that you're missing out on by being inaccessible. You know, we also go into schools, you know, we go into schools with, you know, a bunch of us who have different abilities, whether it's visible or invisible disabilities. And we read to the children and we let the children ask any questions that they want to ask. So they take the fear out of learning about disability, where their parents can't shush them and tell them, you know, don't ask those questions. We give them the open forum to talk. And that's how I met Diana, obviously not at the school age, but at a college level. She was working on a senior project. And what did you do at your senior project, Diana?
Well, luckily I came to Tina's talk on design for accessibility with a couple of other cool local individuals at RISD. I was a Brown student, and I got to talking with Tina, and early on, she has, from the beginning, she provided a ton of feedback and insights into my senior capstone project at Brown, which eventually became the LapSnap. It's a collapsible carryall designed with and for wheelchair users, including Tina, to help wheelchair users carry stuff by attaching directly to them, so they have their hands free to, you know, pick up their groceries or carry their food, whatever they're going to use it for.
Yeah, and then now that is her for-profit business. Diana had started her own business called Include Design, and we are so proud of her. Now she will be making other items for people of disability going forward, because she decided that it was so imperative to do something like this in a community that was underserved. Now she made it her for-profit business, and this is going to be her lifetime goal. So we're so proud of you, Diana, for doing that. And you have your bags in Justin's store. This is how the collaboration works. And when I went up to visit Justin a couple of weeks ago, we did a video with the LapSnap. How did that go, Justin?
Oh, it was fantastic. It worked perfectly with what we were talking about. I believe we stowed your lunch in the LapSnap, and you were able to bring it from your wheelchair. You were able to put it on one of the Able trays that we have that attaches to a power recliner. You were able to do a nice, beautiful transfer into the chair, and then the LapSnap was waiting for you on the tray, and you were able to bring it to you, have your lunch, and then reverse the entire procedure after that. So the LapSnap came into play perfectly. It fit all of your lunch needs, and you even had a little notebook in there to take notes along the way, and it was just fantastic. We always have it on a wheelchair here on display in the Narragansett showroom, and everyone that sees it is always very curious about it and always very interested. And we have a nice little Include Design logo on ours as well that I really like.
Nice. Michael.
I just wanted to piggyback on that comment. I use the carrier, I forget the name, but the carrier every day. I got all my police work in there. I got my calendar book. I have my police radio. I got chargers. I got wires for my computer. I have everything in my carry bag that I bought from Deanne. So I love it. Thanks.
So, I mean, look at by just going out to the schools and educating students, I connected with Diana and now she made a lifelong goal for this. We had another student at RISD who made accessible office desks for wheelchair users that she is now in turn into a business as well. So she's selling desks that are wheelchair accessible. We have others that are making big differences at their school. I just did a senior project. I mentored a young lady at North Providence High School where we made accessible down to the field because, you know, her parents, she is in a wheelchair, but yet her parents are in a wheelchair. So think about all of the people that the children are fine, but like my children walk and everything. I'm the one in the wheelchair. I wanted to go to their plays. I want to go to their sporting events and everything. I don't want to miss out. So I need those accessible too. So it's not just one wing of the school that we need to address. It's the entire school because you never know what family member and what do we say? A student is only as good as a support system. Well, if their support system can't get there to support them, what good is it? So this is what we do. Even events. Christina, tell us a little bit about how an event needs to become accessible and why that's important, whether it's outdoors or indoors.
Well, definitely, like you said, you know, we go to events and, you know, like myself, I can walk and I'm pretty mobile. But for the times that I wasn't able to participate in an event because it wasn't accessible, it's truly heartbreaking. And for our family members or friends not to be able to participate in the same way, it's very sad. So I think the more that we have, like I said, information out there and just being as supportive as we can to business owners and show them that truly we care. It's not to put anybody down. We really just want to make it better for everyone so we can participate. And I think the family behind us is also so, I don't know how to say it. It's just, it's so important. Whoever's supporting you. And Tina, I have to say, you have led the charge for many. So I think RAMP has done many beautiful things and it's going to continue.
Yeah, I mean, last year I went down to an event down near the Waterfire. Number one, Waterfire is not really accessible for those of us in wheelchairs. So here is the biggest event in Rhode Island, but we got a grant going for that. We're waiting to hear, and we're going to have 7 locations where we're going to be able to enter Waterfire if everything goes through. So that's great. Michael, you do a lot of events being a police officer downtown Providence. Isn't it just a matter of the setup of where you put the food trucks by the curb so it makes it easier to use it, or making sure you're not blocking or utilizing the wheelchair ramps? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I have done events, Tina. I haven't done them lately, and if I was doing them, the trucks would be positioned differently so that you could use it better. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. There's ways that's leadership that comes from the top down. That's why letting people know what is right and what will work is the way to do it. And you know, the city's always made adjustments for handicap accessibility. They're very they listen to the thoughts. You know, Tina, you've dealt with the city of Providence numerous times. When we do events, that's one thing that we do specify: handicap accessibility, and the city does promote that pretty greatly. But it's a challenge. It's an everyday challenge when you're doing those types of things. And to piggyback back on your point about going to a place and getting set back because you can't get in. I mean, I gotta be honest with you. I haven't had that happen to me in quite some time. I was in DC recently and I had it happen there. And certain places all over the country are not accessible. But RAMP and what you've been doing, Tina, with the hard work and all your team, they've been doing a great job. So I applaud you for that.
Oh, thank you. It's all of us, but I mean, it's true. When you're planning an outdoor or indoor event, whether it's a wedding or something, call us up. Let us do it, because especially even if it's an indoor event, you know, you don't know if grandma or auntie or one of your friends just recently had an accident or a broken leg, or, you know, let us help you set the venue up. So that way, no matter who shows up, you never have to worry about it being accessible or anybody having a problem. While you're having fun, you know, you can be carefree, that the event is fully accessible, that anybody can just join in the fun. And that's where, you know, Justin comes in. Again, you know, we have touched 270 businesses since the conception of Ramp. Not all 100% fully ADA compliant, but can we get in the door and can we start the process and we open the lines of communication in a positive manner? Yes. You know, that's 270 more businesses. Just after our Accessibility is Beautiful event last year, there was only like 1 or 2 places on Federal Hill that we could get into. Now there is 16. Because when they put the sidewalks in, they raised the sidewalks to slope to the businesses. So now we have roll-in access to 16 businesses on Federal Hill. Is there more? Yes, but are they opening it up and they open their minds up? Yes, and we're so proud of that. So Justin, again, tell us the procedure of, you know, what it would cost of having you come out to assess them.
So just like Ramp, our services to start is completely free for the education, for us to give all the options. So we have an occupational therapist come out. We'll look at every single entrance. If there's 8 entrances, we'll look at every one of them and collaborate with the members of that organization to figure out which ones are the best to address, which ones may present more challenges. We look at the outside, but then also the inside. Once you get in, is that going to be an accessible entrance and be kind of the finish point of where you want to be? We're able to lay out modular or portable options for every entrance or exit that they are interested in. Sometimes it may be a 3-foot suitcase ramps. We have up to 100-foot modular ramps. So even the modular ramps with the railings can go anywhere from 3 feet long to 8-foot long sections. And then we can piece them all together to head towards a parking lot, head towards the alley, head towards a certain walkway. So you can preserve parking lots, you can preserve the area that you need to pass through because it's all modular and it's aluminum. So in contrast to a wooden ramp, they're not married to it. It can move, it can be customized. If the business moves, they can take the ramp with them and we can reconfigure it for the next appropriate space. So the sky's the limit and it's all about options. We work with contractors so much that have built the building that we are addressing, and they say, how did we not think of this? How did we not set this up right? And we don't give anyone a hard time because it's not common knowledge yet. With Ramp's efforts, it's becoming common knowledge. To Michael's point, you're seeing a lot of it go in the right direction, the direction of universal design. But over the years, it hasn't been on the top of everyone's mind. So we don't give everyone a hard time. We commend folks for calling us or calling Ramp and to be initiating the conversation. It's all about learning about education and resources. We've ramped theaters, we've ramped schools, we've ramped colleges, we've ramped daycares, we've ramped restaurants. Any type of commercial building we've been involved with, and we just want to help everyone and anyone become inclusive, not only to staff members, but to also the patrons and the community. So it's a universal thing. I mean, our original passion was homes and aging in place. And with our efforts with Ramp, it's really now spilled into a lot of commercial properties that have a wide variety of ramping opportunities. So we're really honored to be involved in this, and it's any type of business can benefit from it.
Yeah, it's so great. And I mean, one thing I want to, make sure that we point out, being in a,
Can I
yep, go
jump
ahead.
in before I forget my thought? Justin, to that thought, the future, right? Here we are,
Yeah.
2022, ADA 1990, computer-oriented type world now, phones and whatnot. How do you see your business of getting into the future of this movement?
Well, yeah, it's only growing. The education, I mean, we try to promote the education of the resources and the funding available as much as possible. I mean, social media allows us to, partner with each other and scream it from the rooftops to educate folks. It's more than putting an ad out in the newspaper now. It's broadcasting it live and, screaming it from the rooftops. Another way that the virtual movement has helped accessibility is we're able to, even over the phone and virtually, assess a building. If someone gives us a call and is just interested and doesn't want to make an appointment, we can jump on Google Earth and take a look at the environment and give ideas just from that to get the conversation going. And then we're able to show a wide variety of photographs and videos to help inspire folks, to take that next step and to get the roll through from RAMP, or to invite Oakley Home Access onto the property. But yeah, there's a wide variety of computer programs that can really illustrate and show the potential for the ramps and what they could really do. So yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit. It's the computer age and the digital age is only growing, and just helping us, scream it from the rooftops that we want it. We know that our equipment, RAMP and Oakley Home Access alike, we know that our equipment, it's not like selling cars or selling cheeseburgers. Those are always the two metaphors I make. Not everyone knows that it exists. So it's all of our powers combined that is going to normalize it and make it just a part of mainstream culture that, yeah, you have a ramp to enter your building. In 10 years, Michael, I hope my kids are like, yeah, obviously there's a ramp to get in. How else would you set it up? Like, that's that mainstream, that normalizing of it. Like, one day when our kids are running this board, it's going to be like cheeseburgers and vehicles where, yeah, you have a ramp. And this is ground level and 3 years in, and it come a long way,
It's so true. You know what I mean? One second, Christina. It's so true that we don't want to make anybody go broke. We're not out to take your money. We're not out to have you spend money uselessly. This is going to benefit you. This is only going to increase the traffic in your business by becoming accessible, because everybody is aging. Everybody is going to be using a mobility device, like I said, during a surgery or whatever. Like, we're the largest minority in this country, and we're also the only minority that anyone can join at any time. So be prepared. So we just want to enter, and we want to enter through the front door. I don't want to get all dressed up with my crown and sash and have to go through your back trash, through your kitchen. Because I'll tell you one thing, if you don't have the neatest kitchen in the world and I don't eat at the table, nobody eats at the table, because they know I saw something in the kitchen. So not your best idea. So look, another helpful tip: if you make your front door accessible, nobody sees what goes on in the back, where all the good food is cooked, and we just go with the flow. So there's always a plus to every negative. So I'm giving you the out. Make your front door accessible. Christina, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I think everything that we're talking about is great points. Something I wanted to mention, we keep talking about ramps and about accessibility into the building. It's not only accessibility into the building. Once you're in the building, it's great to sit at a table, eat dinner with family and friends. What about when that person that's using a mobility device goes into the restroom, and now you go into the restroom and you realize the stall's a little too small? So whether you're in a chair or, like myself, I need assistance from somebody else, and you go in and the stall's a little too cramped, maybe something as easy as reversing the door from pushing it, it's pushing the opposite way. That's just one great thing that I think that we do, again, coming out to businesses and just showing something as simple as that. Also, something that I've come across is going to a building where it has the ramp to get up into the building, and that's wonderful. But once I get up to the door, because my disability also affects my hands, I don't have the strength to open the door. So even just having a push button to actually get into the building, small little thing, but it means so much.
Yeah, I mean, Diana, do you want to add anything?
I mean, I think all of the points that Christina and the others have made are spot on. It's things that, for people who are non-disabled or have different disabilities, sometimes it's things you would never think about. Like if someone is blind, they might never think about having the door on the bathroom stall go the other way. whereas you or I might not immediately notice when there isn't Braille available on an elevator or a door. And so, you know, we try and get input from people with as many different kinds of disabilities as we can, and no one person can do it all, can teach it all. So, you know, I just think it's important that we continue to be open to learning from the other people that we meet in the future and the others around us who want to educate us in new and different ways and new and different disabilities.
So true. I'm going to start a round robin and we're going to talk about the different things that we have coming up, and you're each going to get to invite somebody to something. Christina, tell everybody about Accessibility is Beautiful.
So that is happening September 10th. It is one of the best events I've ever attended. Last year was our first time doing it. We had representation from every different community there was. We had an artist there. We had food trucks there. I mean, you name it, we had it. And I think it's just gonna, like I said, grow and grow, and it's gonna get better.
Yeah, and that's open to all businesses. We want businesses to come to that event so they can hire a disabled singer or a comic or an artist and hang their artwork in your business. You will be surprised. We will teach you how to hire this incredible, you know, community, because, you know, with the hiring shortage right now, you have a whole community you can tap into, and we can help you hire and make the minor accommodations to get that done. So go on to our website. Again, there's a link. Register for Accessibility is Beautiful. Get in now, because it sold out last year, and we want to do the same this year, and it's twice as big as it was last year. Diana, can you tell everybody about the Red Bag Initiative?
So the Red Bag Initiative is basically, there's a small red bag about this large that we sell, when we donate, and you can kindly donate $1 or $2 for your red bag. Basically, it is a non-tech way to have all of your medical information on hand at any point. So if you go into a medical emergency and you're not with a loved one, people will think, oh, well, my medical information is on my phone, or, oh, they'll just call my emergency contact person in my phone. But if you're passed out or having some kind of other health emergency, you're not going to be available to tell them, tell first responders what your password is to get into your phone, and they might not know which person in your phone to call. And so having this small red bag that you can attach to any backpack, purse, whatever, just have a little note card in there with your medical information, any diseases or disabilities that you have that might affect your medical care, any medications that you're on, anything like that, and of course an emergency contact that you would want notified if you were to have a medical emergency and you were alone, can be a lifesaver for all kinds of different people with disabilities or not.
Thank you, Diana. And you can go on our website, rampisinclusion.com, and grab your red bag today for any family member, whether they have a disability or not. Michael, can you tell everybody why they should join the committee or volunteer with RAMP?
Because we need all the help we can get. And the more people, the better we operate. And, you know, it's good for people if they want to. Some kids need it for college credit. Some people like to keep busy. Some people are retired. Some people have a personal cause and why they're fighting this fight. But for them reasons, join the board and help advocate for accessibility for us.
And again, you can go on our website, rampisinclusion.com, and you can send a message to us that you are interested in becoming a committee member and possibly a board member down the road, and join the fight with us. I'll tell you, you will meet the most incredible people you have ever met in your life, and you will work side by side with them, and you'll have a good time doing it. Justin, tell everybody why they should call us out for assessments.
Because education about resources is everything. I'll say it again. You don't know what you don't know, and we don't judge anyone for that. If you've taken over an establishment, taken over a place that is not accessible, it's not necessarily your fault. but you have the tools to get the education, to find out about the resources available, to make things right, to make things more inclusive. And then, you know, as a business owner, it's not all about money, but we know we're for profit, but we're also for jobs. So in order to keep the people's jobs, keep food on the plates, it takes revenue. So Tina's always best about saying it's going to increase your revenue. It's going to increase your bottom line to open the doors to more folks. So educate, 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 and find out about resources. And that's how you can do it.
And again, it's free for an assessment. So you have no excuse not to call us down and have us assess your event or your business or your place. Christina, the last one, and then my big announcement. Tell everybody why they should invite us into their schools.
Because we're fun and we're resourceful.
I actually had Christina come to a class that I was in college. So that's how originally I met Christina. So
Yes.
and now I'm a board member. So invite us into your schools.
Yeah, so I mean, school level from kindergarten straight up to college. If you have a school, bring us down. We have presentations and books for all levels. We will bring different abilities to get that off the table, and we will educate you on accessibility and everything going forward. I was just at the home show last week, and I worked with 1,400 CTE students, that's career tech students, talking to them all about ADA compliancy and how they do it. So now while they're learning in school about, you know, construction, electrical and everything, they're now also learning about ADA compliance, and they built the entire venue for the home show last weekend, and it was incredible. So this is our school-age children who are now adults, as I consider them, for the work that they did. They're absolutely adults. But one of the big events that we have coming up is on May 24th. We have Tina's Table will be unveiled at Kennedy Plaza. This is a fully accessible table for all your take it outside events and needs, where when everybody's sitting down, you all look like you're in a wheelchair. There are 3 wheelchair access points on this table. There are hooks to hook up your service dog or your baby carriage. So if you get busy doing something, and you can hook your baby carriage right up to it, so you know it won't roll away or run away. But this table will be unveiled at 11:30 at Kennedy Plaza in Providence. And then we hope to see these tables. You can commission these tables. Again, go on rampisinclusion.com and it will show you how you can commission one of these tables for your space, because it is a beautiful artistic statement table that's usable. So everybody needs to have one of these. That's May 24th at 11:30. And side note, that just happens to be Tina's 50th birthday. So the whole state is going to celebrate Tina's Table being unveiled on Tina's 50th birthday. Yes, I just gave my age out to the entire world, but I'm okay with it because we're doing a lot of good and we're doing a lot of things out there. Okay, guys, 1 minute plea to why everybody should be involved with RAMP. I'm going to go around so everybody's the same question. Justin, you first.
Because it's an opportunity to make a true difference in our community, and we need you.
Michael.
Well, it's a great opportunity for businesses, 1, to get tax credits, 2, to get more people to visit their businesses, and 3, to make our community healthy and happy.
Diana.
Because 26% of the population has a disability. So if you don't make your business accessible, you must be willing to lose every 4th customer that would walk or roll through your doors. And because Tina is a lot of fun.
Nice. And don't forget, the elderly community is not counted in those numbers, and 45% of people 60 years and older identify with using a mobility device. So now you're talking, those numbers are even higher, but I agree with you 100%, Diana. Christina.
So I will reiterate, because we are fun, we are resourceful, and honestly, we have money that we want to spend too. So bring us into your businesses and let's have a ball.
Yeah, I mean, so any aspect, there is no business, home, event or anything that you're going to open or you're going to put on that you are not going to encounter the disability community. Let's help you get the most positive interaction right out of the gate, so that way you never have to worry about having a negative review. You are inclusive, you know what you're doing, your staff knows what you're doing, because we do come out and do training. You're accessible, that there are no problems, that we can roll right in, roll in, have fun, get on the dance floor, roll out with no issues, blend right in with everybody else. That is the bottom line. We want to be like everybody else. We do not, I mean, if you can't stand up, stand out is my motto. But for the most part, everybody just wants to roll in and be together. And you get to meet all of these amazing board members. Half of my board members have a disability. The other half of my board members do not. It was not done on purpose that way. It just, so look at right there, just opening this business, we have a 50-50 split right down the middle. So 50% of my board can't get into half of the events because if they're not accessible. So let us in, because I'll tell you, you're missing out on some amazing people. Thank you all so much for taking the time tonight and highlighting and celebrating RAMP's 3rd year anniversary. I do feel that we are going to be here for years to come. I hope one day we are unnecessary because everything is accessible. So my goal is that we are unnecessary down the road, because disabled people are the norm with everybody else, and nobody blinks an eye or thinks twice about ramping or interaction or hiring or whatever. So thank you all so much for being with us tonight. I truly appreciate all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tina.
Thank you, Tina. Congrats.
Thank you. And I want to invite everybody back here next week. I do not remember what the show is because COVID fog is a real thing. I know we have a great show next week. I just don't remember who my guest is at the moment. But every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, we highlight another resource that can help you increase business, increase accessible housing, and so much more. So never miss an episode. And always check out rampisinclusion.com and check out everything that we do. And as I always say, don't just sit there, make a difference. Have a great night, everybody. See you on the outside.